Well, have a great day, everyone. Today, well, as you all know, here we have with us Nadia, Alvarez, and Pedro Prete. Nadia, she works as a business developer for the Maker Foundation. The Maker Foundation is the organization behind the DAI stablecoin, and Pedro Prete, he's co-founder of Think and Dev, and he's the product owner of the RSK Swap Bridge and the Token Bridge, and he developed a lot of interesting tools. And today we will learn a little bit about how now it's possible to get access to DAI through RSK. And well, we're very excited to listen how this is going to work, how we also the story behind it, and how we've been preparing for this to really get massive, to have more accessibility, and overall to have more access to new financial tools that will give us a lot of more freedom for us when we own money and when we own assets and so that. Well, as always and as usual in our webinars, you can raise your hand, you can chat, you can ask any questions you want through the chat or through questions box, and we will try to answer them as briefly and as fully as we can. And well, and here in the chat box, you can also see and click on some links where, well, you can access and see how the RSK swap works. Well, I'm going backstage to help Nadia and Pedro, but I'll be still here, and well, I'll leave the stage to you guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and well, we'll see you once it ends. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Ancho. Well, hi, everyone. Hi, Pedro.
Hi, Nadia.
But very, very, very excited to be here and be part of the RSK family. Now with DAI inside your blockchain, we're very proud of it, and we can wait to see the impact it will have in our community and also in your community. We are very sure about this will increase DAI adoption, not just in Latin America where the project is from, but also all around the world. And with you, with all the Bitcoin supporters you have on behind, we would think it will be a great mix between DAI DeFi and the new DeFi that you are working on inside the RSK blockchain. So yeah, we are like very happy about this, and we have been working a lot to make this real, right? So
right. I'm really glad that is coming to RSK, especially with the high fees that Ethereum currently has. And I know that this is not the first blockchain that DAI has crossed. I mean, you have the example of POA, so that makes it MakerDAO a truly decentralized project. It's not just on Ethereum, it's on many blockchains. And it goes along with the philosophy that you guys have. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for us it's very important to have DAI in as many blockchains we can, because we truly believe that adoption is real when you are inside different blockchains, and you can have access to different communities, and you can also develop new use cases. So we are very exciting and waiting for the new use cases that you will develop inside RSK.
Totally. For those who don't know, we have been working with Maker, with the Token Bridge for more than a year. The first time that we presented with a small POC, then we tried to do a fully decentralized trustless bridge. But the POC of that worked, but it was really hard to get that going on mainnet in a cost-effective way. So then we decided to go with the current implementation of the Token Bridge. And after a long audit from the head of bits and so on, we are happy to finally have everything ready to have officially DAI on RSK. And also we are hoping to see it integrated with the new DEXs like RSK Swap, and there are also some borrowing and lending platforms like Sovereign, which is going to be working on RSK. So we really hope that this push forward the DeFi on Bitcoin, as they say on RSK.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the audience, but for all of those who don't know what DAI is a stablecoin that was born on Ethereum. And the interesting part about DAI is that it's a decentralized, completely decentralized stablecoin because it's backed by different tokens, different collaterals. And Maker is a DAO, which means that it is the community that make all decisions around the protocol. So every new collateral that is included to back the DAI that you know is decided by the community. Right now we have around, I think, 9 different collaterals that were proposed and voted by the community. So that gives us this sense of being decentralized, and for us that's very important. And we have seen a very interesting adoption of DAI in countries as Argentina and Venezuela, because those are countries where it's very difficult to trust in your local currency. So people are seeing DAI as a way to save their money, and for us that has been like amazing, because is the first step for us to be outside the crypto world and start like being part of people who need options. And we think that including DAI on RSK will increase the number of use cases, will increase the number of projects that you will have access with DAI. So for us, it's amazing. Right now, you can find a lot of different projects, of DeFi projects on Ethereum, where you can spend your DAI or invest your DAI or lend your DAI. And well, I'm curious to know what are the projects you will have on RSK on that sense. Can you like tell me a little bit more about that?
Okay. First, we're gonna start with Dexis. The idea is to, we need to swap and exchange goods, as is the first phase of any economy. So we're standing a bit behind from Ethereum on that side, but we also have the idea of not building the ecosystem as get into an investment and then make it a bubble, whales playing the whales game and increasing token size way too high, and then it all just crumbles. The idea is going a different approach, a bit more sustainable. That the projects that actually make money are the ones that survive, and also not just the projects that make money, but also the ones that give you an actual benefit. For example, there's a new project that's called Digital Identity, where the idea is to have a single sign-on, but on blockchain, and that integrated with Taringa. So that will allow you to go and use your Taringa login and get into your wallet and use the blockchain in a more friendly manner. And talking about Taringa, also they are planning on delivering T-coins to the Taringa users, and the idea is to have business to adopt the Taringa tokens and you're gonna receive discounts and that kind of things. And as an Argentinian, I know what you're talking about, the problems with the economy. It's really hard for us as our currency devaluates a lot. We tend to go to crypto. Same happens to Venezuela, guys. And the problem is that going with crypto, you usually go with BTC, is the volatility. So in order to go away out of that is to go for DAI or other stable coins, and they are awesome. The problem is like paying $40 for a transaction on Ethereum and DAI is just way too much, especially that Venezuela and Argentina have low incomes comparing them to US standards or European standards. So having that in a blockchain which is a lot cheaper, I think will allow to start integrating stablecoins into the market. There is one example of that. It's called the crypto market, which is kind of buy and sell stuff on the internet, but that accepts cryptocurrency on RSK. So I hope that start to see some movement there, especially because people can pay with crypto. I hope they start adding more stable coins soon. So I see this like a blossoming ecosystem, and I hope to see a lot more cases for that in the next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was going to say the same about the gas fees, because it's a huge problem on the Ethereum ecosystem right now, and it's a problem with like we are just like trying to understand the solutions on layer 2 or waiting for the next version of Ethereum. But I think like one interesting approach is to start exploring different blockchains, and well, this is what we are going to do with you guys, because now people will won't be necessary be like worried about the gas fees, because they can send and receive DAI on the RSK blockchain without paying for a high gas fee as we are seeing now on Ethereum. And that's a problem, because if we want adoption and if we want to see DAI in the future being used for transactions in the real world, well, we have to find solutions for the gas fees as they are right now. So totally. Yeah, I think it's amazing.
And the layer 2 solutions that currently are there, like Raiden, Lightning, Lumino, etc. The problem that they have is that you cannot call smart contracts, which are like right now the major motivation from the blockchain. So I don't see that happening. And Ethereum version 2, it's like a great idea, but it's gonna be hard to get there. So I think that it's a good idea to start exploring new blockchains. And as you said, in worst case, what is it? You just cross to another blockchain, you do whatever you want, and if tomorrow you want to go back, or Ethereum version 2 is there, you can go back. So the risk is actually minimum. So I think it's a nice solution. I understand that the problems with other blockchains is adoption. So I understand the idea of trying as many blockchains as we can. I imagine this as being like in a different time when web browsers you had like a lot of choices until Google Chrome emerged as the victorious one. So I think that blockchain is still trying to find its way, and there is not one blockchain that does everything. So I think it's a good idea to start being more interoperable and having different blockchains, having different strengths, and switching between them according to the strength that you want to use in certain time.
Yeah, totally. And what you said about composability on layer 2, yes, that's a big concern, because a lot of the DeFi projects that are on Ethereum right now, they depend on this composability to access different services from different projects that are running on Ethereum. So migrating all of these to layer 2, well, it will take time, and also we will have to sync with all the projects to see how are we going to manage this. But what I think it's interesting about being on RSK is well, I can't wait to see what kind of new projects will born using the composability, but of RSK, like all these new services that will born on RSK, and all these new projects and all these new DeFi projects on top of RSK. That's going to be like an interesting thing to see in the next months. I hope so. And also, well, yeah, as I said before, I can't wait to see how DAI will be used on RSK. Like what projects will use it, and what people that are already on the RSK network will like adopt DAI. Why they will adopt DAI? Like to understand these new reasons they will have to issues DAI on RSK. That I think that's great, and will open a lot of new opportunities for new projects.
I remember that once you told me that your major goal would be like Pedro to adopt DAI. That would be like a goal from like half the court, something like that. So I hope that this kind of stuff brings us closer to that. But in the meantime, let's show a bit of a demo about how easy it is to cross DAI and how to obtain it and how to work them. I'm going to show it this version on testnet because the waiting time is faster. For mainnet, you have to wait 1 hour to cross your DAIs. For testnet, it's just going to be 5 minutes. So let me start. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Hope you guys can see this. Okay, the first thing you need is to get some Ether from Koban. The implementation that we're currently using for testnet is Koban and RSK testnet. We recommend to use Nifty Wallet or MetaMask. I'm currently using Nifty. You need to have your GitHub account in order to ask for this, or you can use the Koban faucet from GitHub. The links are already posted on the web. So once you have your ETH, what we need is some DAI. So what we're currently using is the MCD portal. I know this is kind of old. For those who don't know, before, like last year, DAI was had only as collateral Ethereum as collateral. Sorry, and they are currently using Oasis, which is a new. Sorry, I'm just gonna go for the link. Oasis, which is a new tool that allows not just to get DAI using other kind of collateral, but it also allows you to earn interest from depositing your DAI here. So this is the new version. I need to update testnet. I'm sorry about that. And this is the old version. So in order to use the token bridge on testnet, on mainnet, we're using the latest version of DAI with Oasis. But on testnet, you're going to need this. What you're going to do is you're going to deposit an amount of Ether. Let's say I deposit, I don't know. And then I need to confirm the transaction. And then once this is mined, you can withdraw an amount of DAI according to the collateral that you put. And oops, sorry. So okay, I already have some DAI, so I'm gonna skip this step. But I assure you that this usually works. Koban has been having a bit of an issue with the gas price. I mean, you have seen that just I set a transaction from Nadia, and it was like 80 away of gas price, which is not normal. It's usually between like 10, 20. So probably they have been having like a high amount of transactions lately. So probably that's why I'm getting this error. So if something like this happens to you, just wait that the testnet is a bit less congested. Okay, so I already have some DAIs here. So I'm gonna use that to cross. So if you are interested in what things can you cross, I'm gonna start a bit slow, sorry. Yeah.
Let me add one important thing here, Pedro, for the audience that is watching your demo, is that you can mint new DAI not just with Ether but also with Bitcoin, which is very interesting for your community. So if you are long on with Bitcoin and you're holding it, you can go there, go to Oasis and mint new DAI that you will be able to use on RSK now.
Yeah, I currently don't have any rapid Bitcoin, but you can also use BAT or USDC and USDT for what I'm seeing. I'm not sure if the exact list from testnet is the one from mainnet though, but I think they are right.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it's a good tip. Okay, so going back to the bridge for a second there. The URL is testnet.tokenbridge.rsk.com. The one from mainnet is the same, but without the testnet. But let's first take a look at the things that we can cross. So what we currently can cross is DOC, DAI, BitPro, Riff, Link token, True USD, USD Tether, USDC, Rapid Tether, and 0x protocol. So you may see that some of them have an E and the other ones have an R code. This is because the tokens that are crossed from RSK to Ethereum, we put an E, and the tokens that cross from Ethereum to RSK, we add an R. That's the way we have to differentiate them. On testnet, you may see that they look like RCOV. This is because they come from command, and even though we currently have only implemented this for an RSK testnet, we don't discard the possibility of in the future crossing tokens from other Ethereum testnets to try the tokens. So that's why you may see this name that looks strange. The other thing that I want to point out is that the token list from testnet is a little bit bigger than the one on mainnet. You'll see that, for example, that 0x and Rapid Ether are on testnet, but they are not on the mainnet version. So be sure to check out which are the tokens that you can currently cross on mainnet before starting it. So as you can see, DAI here on Ethereum mainnet, you will go to RSK mainnet. You can follow the links and it will send you to the Explorer if you want, with the contracts being verified and all. So you can check that out and see that effectively everything is going where it should. Okay, so back to testnet. Sorry if I'm going a bit fast. Just I want to show the functionality. You can do the rest at your homes. Okay, so you want to cross your DAIs. First need to connect the wallet to the decentralized application, and then you choose from the list whatever you want. In this case, we want to move some DAIs. So here you choose the amount that you want to cross, and the Token Bridge has a small fee, a 0.2% fee, that it helps to keep the bridge ongoing, as it has to pay for the transaction on the other network. Let's say I'm gonna pass 100. I already have some DAIs on the other side, but don't worry about it. You will see the difference soon. Okay, so I'm gonna send 100. It's gonna cost me 102 DAIs. I'm sorry, 100.2 DAIs. And as you see, here I have the link of where I'm gonna receive this information. So if you don't have it, you can add it to your wallet as a custom token. So this is as simple as click on convert tokens. The decentralized application is going to ask me first to accept the transfer, to approve the DAI contract to interact with the token bridge contract. As you can see, the gas price is a lot lower than before, so I'm sure that this will go. I'm just commenting that in case you run into some issues. Gas price doesn't just affect the mainnet on Ethereum, it also affects on testnet, so be aware of that, and if it's really high, just keep in mind that it can take longer than usual. Okay, the second transaction that you are confirming is the one that actually transfers the DAI tokens to the bridge and then locks it, and that emits an event that then will be crossed to the RSK network. Now, once this transaction gets mined, we will need to wait for 5 minutes on testnet and an hour on mainnet. That's the time that the validators are gonna wait. You know, they're gonna wait for 12 blocks on testnet and 120 blocks on mainnet before considering the transaction valid. Then they're gonna perform some tests and check that everything is okay. And once they have confirmed that the transaction is a real transaction, it's valid, then they're gonna send it to the other chain. In this case, it will be RSK testnet. So I'm gonna change to RSK testnet then. Remember that I'm not gonna see my amount of dice correctly, as it will take 5 minutes. One more thing that I wanted to clarify is the address to which the dice are sent is exactly the same address that I have on Ethereum. So it will be to this one, that's 9C95. And you need in MetaMask to add the RSK nodes as a custom RPC using the public nodes URL. You can find it searching public nodes RSK. In the case of Nifty, you actually have RSK and RSK testnet, but the problem is that if you use these addresses, you will see that the address differs. This is for the derivation path. You have to add them as a custom RPC to get the same address on Ethereum and on RSK. So I'm using on RSK and I want to check the token. So a good thing is that these are already loaded on Nifty, so I can just add it like that and click next. But if you're on MetaMask, you will need the address. You can get the address from the list, just copy this and then add them as a custom token, paste it, and there you go. So as you can see, I have 9. So in about 5 minutes, I should have 109 actually. But while we wait, I'm gonna show you a bit more. If you need any information about RSK Token Bridge, sorry, you can contact us. You can contact us. You can see the developer portal, or you can go to our GitHub. And this small "do you need help" thing will get you to the Token Bridge GitHub, where you can ask anything that you want. Also, the Token Bridge repository is public. You can check that out as well. It's at the bottom of the page. And you can also check the developers portal, which has a lot of information about the Token Bridge and so on. So you can see, for example, the addresses where the bridge is on Ethereum and RSK and on testnet, and also how to use the decentralized application that I'm just showing, or interact directly with the contracts using MyCrypto, for example, or just the frequently asked questions on how the bridge works and what are the the different things that you have to have into consideration. I think we have a question. No. Just Franz saying that the developer portal has a 24-hour chat. This is it. So you can just write it here. We will answer you ASAP. Okay, so let's check this out. Yep, and now we have 109 RSK DAI. I'm really happy about it. In the case that you want to send it back, and just so you be sure that you can send it back, you can do exactly the same. The only difference is that you need to be connected with RSK network. Yes, it will take the network where you are connected and then use the from, and it will automatically set it to the other network. Okay, so I'm gonna send 100 again, and it's just exactly the same steps. You just gonna see two notifications. The first one is to approve. We'll see that the gas in GOA in RSK is 0.06 approximately, and then you're gonna submit the transaction. It takes a bit longer as RSK testnet. The blocks are about 30 seconds per block, so you have to wait 30 seconds to get a confirmation. It's the same time on mainnet, so it's a bit more realistic, but at the same time, it will be a little bit slower for tests. Once this transaction is mined, I'm gonna see another pop-up that is going to be the one for sending the RSK DAI to the bridge, and that's gonna generate the event that's gonna be used by the validators to cross the token to Ethereum again, and then you're gonna see it exactly the same as before. You know, the 100 are gonna be back. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a bit. This is like a small representation of what I was talking about. You know, you start from Ethereum or from RSK. You call the ERC20 token. In this case, it's I. Send the tokens to the bridge. The bridge will emit the event. The federators or validators are going to receive that event, validate that everything is okay, and call the federation contract. Here's the second confirmation I was waiting. Click submit this and wait another 30 seconds. The federation contract, when it has a majority of votes, is gonna allow the bridge to create the ERC20 mirror token. That's gonna be the RDAI. The original DAI tokens are locked on the bridge, and the bridge on the other side means the new tokens. And when we're going back, what it does is it burns the tokens that were created, and once the events are emitted and validated, and we have a majority of federators voting it unlocks it. So at all time, you have the same circulating amount on the other chain as they are locked on the bridge on the original chain. So that's really important. And another thing, I know I put here ERC20, but as they use the ERC20 interface, but actually they are using ERC777 to avoid people from sending their money to contracts that without first calling the approved message and losing their funds forever. You know, a lot of people have lost their funds by calling directly a contract without first calling approve and then transfer from. So this can happen with the tokens that you cross because they are ERC77. Okay, so you see that I have right now 9 RSK DAI and they were crossed to the other chain. So I think I have talked a lot. I'm gonna stop sharing and I'm gonna be asking if anybody has any questions or wanna see something more.
One important thing also that I forgot to mention is that you can also buy DAI with fiat I mean, you don't have to mint new DAI. You can also buy it. And it's available in different exchanges in different markets. You can buy it in Latin America, for example. You can buy it with Argentinian pesos or Colombian pesos, or like almost all local currencies from Latin America. You can find DAI also on Coinbase and buy it with dollars, or on Kraken and buy it with euros. So it's available in different markets, and that it gives you the possibility to buy DAI with your local currency and convert it into RDAI and start using it on RSK. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's true. Lately, in the past few months, a lot of exchanges from Argentina that only previously sell Bitcoin had not just Ether but DAI. So I think that's really important, and it's making a trend. More exchanges from Latin America are, allowing you to buy stablecoins. So that's awesome, at least for the user perspective.
Yeah,
I know that
yeah.
makes me happy. Yeah, and the other thing is that even though there is a lot of getting interest made on DeFi, I think that the common user it hasn't gone there yet. So I expected to see some exchanges adding, interests on DAI using Oasis, for example, in the short term. Yeah, because I think that is something that is at least for Latin American culture. The dollar is for saving. You don't use it, so it's gonna be there just being hold. So getting some profit out of it makes sense. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. I have seen that like in the last months, exchanges adopting DeFi protocols, integrating DeFi protocols on the back, so they can provide new services as interest to their users who decide to hold DAI on the exchange or on the wallet or on that. So yes. Well, I expect the same on the RDAI, like maybe a lending pool platform on RSK that can give interest to people who save their money on RDAI.
Totally. There are actually two coming. I know that Sovereign is on testnet, and they are close for being launched on mainnet, and they will be like the first borrowing and lending pool. I know that there's a project called Crypt Lending that's being developed, and I know that RSK is on conversations with Aave. So hopefully we'll have at least 2 or 3 lending solutions on RSK in the short term. So,
Amazing.
yes.
Yes.
And that also, as you said before, DeFi is like Lego blocks. So having a borrowing and lending solution, it allows you to have other kind of things. Like one project that I like a lot is Put Together, that allows you to earn like a lottery, but instead of being like the regular lottery, when if you lose the money on your ticket. As it works on interest, you win the interest of the whole pool, but if you lose, you actually don't lose anything. So I think that we'll start seeing like a lot more of the apps and DeFi projects once we have some tooling for borrowing and lending. Yep.
Excellent.
Okay, so I think that's it. What do you think, Frank?
Well, I think that it was a great conversation between both of you, and yes, and I have the same conclusion. I think that it's time that we will start seeing more platforms adopting DeFi products, and well, it's time it's our job actually to make it more available and more accessible and for massive adoption.
Sorry.
That was, yeah. Okay, so I don't see much questions here. Well, everybody can write us. They can find us on the chat, on Gitter, on GitHub, on all of our platforms, and we'll be, of course, be trying to reach you and to answer you back as soon as possible. The idea is well to get to know you a little bit more, and to get to know us a little bit more, and well, and to start knowing the technology we develop, that it's for, well, it's for all of you. That's our main reason and purpose. So, well, tomorrow we will have the same webinar, not with Nadia, but with Mariano. It will be in Spanish. So everybody who wants to learn it, and well, if anybody had to leave or wants to listen to it again, we will shortly upload this webinar to our YouTube channel, that it's youtube.com/RSK-smart. And well, thank you so much for all of your time and for staying with us for this hour. And well, especially thanks to Nadia and to Pedro, who also took their time to chat with us. Okay, so well, goodbye to all.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nadia.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Fran.
Thank you, guys. Bye.